Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show. Well, I didn't think I would have to talk about any NASCAR today, since my only two videos were supposed to be baseball games. Well, NASCAR media shields are back at it again. On Sirius XM, NASCAR radio. Larry McReynolds and Danielle Trotter were at it. And a lot of people were talking about, a lot of people were saying he's talking about Mark Martin. No, he's mentioning no championships. And he said he wasn't talking about Mark Martin. Okay, how does that make it any better? Oh, he wasn't talking about Mark Martin, but carry on, will say the NASCAR defender. But doesn't make it any better, does it? Oh, he's talking about Denny Hamlin. I mean, I guess it makes it better because people hate him, but me and a bunch of other people, I would assume. But look, if your argument is to shit on somebody that doesn't have a championship just because they don't like the current format, the fans don't, the drivers don't, and there was a Jeff Gluck poll of what people preferred, and about most of it was full season point standings. So, yeah, just my opinion though. So he said people are thinking he's talking about Mark Martin, which I think he is. I think he's just kind of trying to backtrack a little bit. He says he's a hero and proud to call him a friend. If you would listen closely, it's a driver that's active and on the council. I find it so hard to believe how you folks come up with stuff sometimes. Oh yeah, but then why did Danielle Trotter reply to and mention Mark Martin then? But if you're talking about like Hamlin and Jr., they both advocate for a full season format, but they're also willing to find other solutions. But if you're talking about Mark Martin, he's dead set because he knows he's not just speaking for himself, he's speaking for us too. And if you weren't talking about Mark Martin, Danielle's first and only response would have said that, I would think they would clear the air immediately if someone mistook their conversation as some sort of attack on the sport's most iconic figures. Instead, her reply comes off, oh, we didn't mean any offense, but we still think you can't have a traditional format. Not sure how this just makes it any better. Don't know what the point of saying this. According to Larry McReynolds, only drivers with championships can have an opinion. Yeah, but don't you don't have a championship, Mr. McReynolds. Just saying. If we're using logic, you don't have a championship, so just saying, man. It's a bad look to dismiss and gaslight a huge portion of the audience. It's not just fringe boomers who don't like the playoffs. Dude, I'm 19 years old. I don't like the playoffs. You know, when I was younger, maybe I did like the playoffs. But as I've got more older, more mature, and actually think, yeah, the playoffs are terrible. You know, this is what we mean when we say no portion of this fan base has been brainwashed, basically. You can't even blame some. When media members push and advocate for the current product the way it is, they believe this is how it should be. They, talking about the new fans, have been around long enough to know better. Or haven't been around long enough to know better. People like me know better. It's just ridiculous. So, Danielle Trotter says, Mark, you know I love you, but what we got is a whole lot better than what we used to. Oh, really? What about the attendance? The ratings? How you determine the champion? That what we have now is better than what you had back then? But what if the championship is decided before the championship race? Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I would rather have the deserving champion over a motherfucker that has a 17th place average finish. She says we need a playoff. We? We? Who's we? Just say you. Just say you want the playoffs. Nobody's talking about we. We need eliminations. We need to reward winning and consistency. Consistency? NASCAR rewards consistency. If they did that, Chase Elliott would have won the championship last season. If they did that, everyone winning would have the consistency. You think Ryan Blaney had the consistency last season? Who won the championship last year? Was it Joey Logano? Oh yeah, it was Joey Logano. Did Joey Logano have the consistency outside of one lucky fuel mileage win? Or two? Two fuel mileage wins? Blaney, well yes, he has some of the worst luck in NASCAR. He had a pretty terrible average finish too. So, it's just, wake up, look at these responses in your comment section, Danielle Trotta. We understand the narratives has to be pushed, but to ignore the fans that support the very show and the sport that we love is being disrespectful and disingenuous. This isn't a stick and ball sport. Like, I'm tired of talking about, Game 7 moments. You don't see Game 7s all the time in basketball, because, you're not guaranteed to get a Game 7. The reason that when there's a Game 7, it's special, because it doesn't always happen. The sport is not like it used to be. Like, sure, there's some passing nowadays, but there's so much aero blocking. Clean air matters. And it's hard to work your way through the field unless you have a fucking rocket ship. This is the most out-of-touch opinion I've seen from her. Look, respect her tons, but overwhelmingly disagree on every single point made on this. The consistency. Consistency. Yeah, it's only gotten worse year after year. Okay. Last year during the playoffs, Christopher Bell had 6 top 5s and 8 top 10s, which were both the most by any driver in that span. But the one finish he had outside the top 20 cost him a chance at a championship. How does that reward consistency? Joey won the championship. He had a 17th place average finish. He got one lucky fuel mileage win. It's... For the 22, the round of 12 was the only time points mattered at all, and that round had a super speedway and a road course, which all you need for consistency is a league lap finish. In the old chase, consistency mattered. Now it's winning the right races. Like, fucking moron and a shill. Like, Jesus Christ. The large majority of the fans do not want the system we have now. You take your pick. You know which format wasn't the chosen one in Jeff Gluck's poll? Current format, 10-race chase. All 36 races, other/modified playoff. 53%, all 36 races. 8% current format. Which championship format should NASCAR use in the future? Another poll. Full season playoffs, 80% full season, 20% playoffs. Mark Martin put up a poll. Classic 36 race season. 10-race chase, something else, current playoff. 60% 36 race season, 7% current playoff. That's what we want. No, we want the classic 36 race season. All of these polls I've listed, I've mentioned, I saw from a screenshot. Seems like the fan base wants a full season. Just saying. Like, playoffs do not bring in more viewers. It's all gimmicks, no legitimacy. Also, how will a full season point system bring in more viewers? I want more legit. Like, by making more entertaining product, like, I would rather it be legit instead of gimmicks. They're not going to gain any significant numbers, like, with this current format. I'm not saying it's going to bring in all the viewers back, but I want legitimacy. Not a guy with a 15th, 17th place average finish winning the right races just to make the championship and go and win it. It doesn't reward consistency. Look at Joey last year. I mean, sure, he won the right races, but... And he only made it because Alex Bowman gets DQ'd somehow, and he just goes on. he ran like 20th or so all season, besides one win. Like, no, like, you look at the race we have right now in the points. Even Blaney and Briscoe down there are only 2 to 3 race wins worth of points away. Chase Elliott's leading the points by 16 over Byron, 30 over Larson, 39 over Hamlin, 62 over Reddick, 67 over Bale. And then Blaney and Briscoe are right there, 126, 132 back. I mean, you take those two out, the top 6 are still only within, the top 6 are only within 67 points. So you were going to tell me that the current format will be better than this. You look at the points. Look at the points. You're telling me that would be better than this. Drivers don't like the playoffs. Retired drivers don't like the playoffs. Fans don't like it yet. Daniel Trout is praying to God we keep moving forward. Oh yes, lower ratings, lower ticket sales, less legitimacy. Don't get it. I swear, do you people not think? Ain't no way when I read this, I looked at rewards consistency. If it rewarded consistency, Chase would win the championship. Probably last year and have a good chance this year. Instead, he has to avoid elimination with these stupid-ass playoffs. And the race got only 2 million viewers for Dover. What's the excuse for the poor viewership numbers this week? Larry Mack and Daniel Trout, tell me that. How do they push us for being another amazing week? Down 400,000 views isn't good. Dropped 27%. I know it dropped 27% during the delay, but it was still going to probably be around 2-point-something million anyways. It's always been known that Sirius XM NASCAR radio is much of industry shills, but the level of disrespect and shade thrown to one of the sport's greatest drivers is a level of disgust that I didn't even think that would stoop that low to. I mean, the last 3 champions I want to mention have an average finish of 13.5 or worse. But yeah, we need to reward winning and consistency. But we reward it. Yeah, no they don't. They want a system that is different than what the majority of the NASCAR Cup fans want. Mark Martin just wants the majority of the fans to get what they want. It's just ridiculous. If he is talking about Mark Martin, we're negating in the opinion of a driver who hasn't won a championship because he wants to go back to the said system where he never won a championship. Like, do you hear yourself, Larry McReynolds? He wants to go back to the old said system where he never won a championship in. Almost like he realizes it's a just system. Being an industry shell brings some wild opinions. I'm 19, and I can't stand this current system. Don't let them say it's just old boomers that want a different format. Look, Winston format had flaws, but it could easily be made into a much better format. It had its flaws, but it can make better. It can make it better now. If the format was designed to grow the sport, it failed. If it was to better reward the best driver all year, failed. If it was to have a stable format that wouldn't need changes like the old Chase, the fact NASCAR is looking change, it shows failed. And you're dismissing Mark Martin, the guy who literally built Roush up from nothing in NASCAR, and someone who had such longevity in the sport, and that we'll probably never see it again from another driver as a driver who never actually won a championship is insane. One of the very, very few drivers who remains actively engaged and outspoken about what he thinks is best for the sport in this stupid-ass media. Not only did he not win a title season format, but that format led to so much heartbreak for him throughout his career. He was so close so many times. For him to voice his vote for that format tells you all you need to know. Shouldn't feel obligated to a close title battle every year. If you're saying, oh, what if it's decided for the championship? You're not going to get a close championship battle every year. But they're talking about it's better now. 11 million viewers in 2005, 3 million in 2025. Where'd those 8 million viewers go? What Mark Martin? I will go to my grave on this. What it took to win a championship in the season-long format was harder to do than what we have now. Move forward. Just such disrespect. You can agree to this. It's 100% okay to disagree and discuss, but to just disrespect Mark Martin like that, pathetic. Didn't think NASCAR media would go this low, but it's NASCAR Shields. But yeah, that's really all I gotta say. Till next time out. Peace, and leave your guys' thoughts in the comments below.